All right. I saw this last night, and I don't know where this is going to go as it relates to the NFL. I'm intrigued by it as it relates to the NBA. Multiple NBA teams have done away with the term owner within the past year. That's a report from TMZ. Other teams have discussed making a similar change. Draymond Green, the Warriors forward, said on HBO's The Shop last year, you shouldn't say owner. The idea there is that there is a certain degree of racial insensitivity to it. And when you just rattle off owner, it harkens back to the days when human beings owned other human beings as slaves. So I get the sensitivity. The challenge is, especially as it relates to the NFL, I don't know what other term you use. And I'm not being obtuse here. I'm not being stupid. I don't know what other term you use. And that's kind of what we're looking at now, because you can't just say CEO, because on some teams there's a CEO who isn't the owner. Right? So it's almost like you have to know the specific title that is given to each owner and use that title. But the problem is, for a lot of these teams, the title is owner. Yeah. So until they change the title, I don't know what to do. And as I say that, I'm very aware that, I don't use the name of the Washington franchise, because people say to me, well, that's the name, you should use it. Well, I don't, because I can still refer to them by saying Washington. I don't know how I can refer to and identify what the role is of Robert Kraft, what the role is of any other person who owns equity in an NFL team. So here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. There are going to be a lot of people who think it's the right thing to do. There's going to be a lot of people who think it's horribly a bad decision, and it's the death of society, and it's political correctness run amok, and it's all these negative things. It's going to become a flashpoint for a lot of people, because we can't agree on anything, and people are going to be pissed off about this one.
No, I mean, the first thing I thought of is, so what do we call him? The purchaser? Hey, the purchasers here for practice today. I'm the same way. I understand.
I don't like that either.
I know. I don't know.
That doesn't work either.
Did we come up with a nickname? Did we just call him Big Money? Hey, Big Money's here, or Daddy Warbucks is here. I mean, I don't know. You're right. Here comes Mr.
Guy who signs the checks.
Mr. Tall Stacks is here. He's always got stacks of cash.
Check signer? How about check signer?
Check signer.
Check signer.
Sure. Okay.
I think I'm going to go, until I come up with something better, I'm going with check signer.
I understand the sensitivity. I can understand both sides of that argument there. The sensitivity, and then also people going, okay, that's a little overblown that way. But I guess it's different. You're owning a team, and there's 12 players on that team. So I get that too. I understand it. But it is going to be funny to figure or see what name they come out with instead of owner.
But if there's an easy fix, why not do it?
Yeah.
If that's the thing that drives me crazy. Mm-hmm. When the railing against political correctness, well, correctness, right? There's a reason to avoid saying certain things that may offend someone else, that may be viewed as insensitive. Shouldn't we aspire to do that? If all things are equal, that's the thing. As long as we can come up with an acceptable alternative, then what's the big deal? But why political correctness run amok? Who cares? How does it affect you? You still get to communicate your thoughts. You're just using words that clearly are not potentially viewed as insensitive by anyone.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, it's the rule that gets you through life. Platinum rule, golden rule, just don't be an asshole.
That's right. Be nice to people.
Believe that if you need to.
Right.
But just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And if sometimes you inadvertently are an asshole because you don't realize. But once you realize, once you see how something may affect someone, then you stop saying it. You stop doing that. Now, ideally, you figure that stuff out without, having to be told you're being an asshole. But I just think that's the safest course. Don't be an asshole. That's the best way to live your life. Maybe if I ever write a book, the title will be "Don't Be an Asshole," written by an asshole.
Yeah, and who better to write a book about an asshole than an asshole? So yeah, you'd be the one to write it. That's for sure. I'll give you that much. But yes, I like what you said there.
How have we gotten to
well
this
said.
point?
Well said, though. It's what I try to tell my kids all the time. It's about being nice. It's about how you treat people. You can get a bad grade, and Daddy might not be happy, but I'm not going to yell at you. If I hear you're mistreating people, saying things that are inappropriate, then my kids know they're in deep crap with Daddy, and then there might be some consequences that come along with that.
Well, look, I don't know where this one's going to go. I'm going to continue to monitor it, and I don't know. I'm going to look. I've got the record and fact book, and I'm going to look and see what these owners are called by their teams, and maybe it has to come from them. Maybe they need to come up with other names, and then those are the names that we will use. But check signer for me is the only halfway decent alternative I can think up right now, but it's something we're going to continue to look at because, look, if there is a question, if there's a fair question that it's viewed as racially insensitive, then why should you want to use that term?
Yeah.
Right? It's something that we should think about, we should talk about, and if there is an easy alternative, why not use it? If there's any chance it's potentially insensitive at all, find a different word. That's not hard to do. It's a lot easier than complaining about it incessantly like so many people are going to want to do.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.